Hello.
There he is. Look at this guy. Long time no speak. How are you?
Doing excellent. Doing better than ever.
Yeah. What are you up to right now?
Just sitting in a room with Buck Rogers posters and LED Star Wars helmets, waiting on you to call me.
No, what a
Very nice.
nerd.
This,
What a
yeah,
guy.
big
He's a
nerd,
grown-up
big-time nerd.
little boy here.
What's your most prized possession when it comes to dork artifacts?
Ooh, that's a tough call.
Doesn't have to be most
Probably-
valuable, but your most prized possession.
Most prized, just because in the living room I got one of those arcade one-up Star Wars things, and it looks so good in my living room. It sets the tone. It's lit up, and I crank the volume. So my girlfriend or daughter's here. Obi-Wan just out of nowhere just says, "Remember, the Force will always be with you." Super loud, and it really pisses them off. I'm like, "Turn that down."
So they're not
Right.
they're not into your dork tendencies.
My daughter loves to make fun of me. She's pretty dorky and loves Edward, of course, from Twilight. And she's dorky, but not to the level I am. I'll have to send you a picture of the level I am. My living room is a comic book rack with all vintage comics in it, and Conan the Barbarian framed with a more expensive frame than the poster itself, and guitars, of course, and label Bobaflex posters from TVT records, stuff like that. And I got a pet. It's an R2D2 that goes on voice command, and it never poops peas, and I never have to feed it. It's still
It
running
walks
on
around the
battery.
house
Like a
little
robo-dog?
Yeah,
robot?
if you set it on voice, I'll turn it on, and if me and friends are talking or jamming out in the living room, it'll react to whatever we're doing, and just put Princess Leia on the wall, spin, go do a bunch of stuff, and I'll talk to it as though it can hear me, and it's the best pet ever. No hair, nothing.
Ha!
Well, it's Brian and Gene, and we're talking to Shaun McCoy of formerly of Bobaflex, still kind of. You guys are still occasionally doing shows, right? Every once in a great while.
Yeah, we do about 6-7 a year, especially in the money markets. And we tried to tour, just to clear the air about 2 years ago. We tried to just do like a 2.5, 3-week run in the Midwest. But Tommy's parents, his dad just passed a year and a half ago. And so he was not able to do an actual tour. He could
Right.
only shoot out for a weekend. And I moved my parents up from West Virginia, which I took a break from music for about 4 months. And so we're both it's funny, I can focus on music. My daughter's in college. That whole thing's chilled out. But, you get your parents, and it's like having new kids. I'm like, oh, they're like children now.
Yeah, I mean, we saw you guys for years and years and years as Bobaflex touring through the Midwest, and then, of course, you guys you didn't break up necessarily, but you had to be a responsible dad and get a 9-to-5, and then
Yeah, take care of your
Marty,
family.
kind of restarted, with a new band called The Lonely Ones, and they've been touring, and we just saw them like 2 weeks ago, actually, in Cashton, and it was great to see those guys again, and you're doing your own thing, too, with this Blood Ocean thing. Tell me about that.
Yeah, me and Tommy are rocking with Blood Ocean. I've been kind of recording songs and getting a sound. I released Headless Woman like a year and a half ago. But that was more of a new wave rock song. This new song is more comprehensive of the total sound. And I wanted to do something theatrical wise, though I definitely have a light show and a little bit of I guess you could say, I'm a Kiss fan and Slipknot fan, so they're more theatrical on the look. I call it my Escape from Cleveland band. It's not Escape from New York since I'm in Ohio, but and I can do just the weirdest, craziest stuff. Song-wise, and there's no limits on music. I got a great studio, 3 close by. So I'm about done. I'm getting close to having a full set list, and we're going to start rehearsals next month. And I can't wait to take it out, but it's got to be a show, and I like guy I'm hiring and all that. So it's going to be a little bit different vibe than Bobaflex, but it's just something I can just go ape shit on music-wise and not have any barriers or boundaries and sing about literally anything I want. And it's going to get weird. I'm going to tell you that right now.
All right. I do see the Conan the Barbarian makeup that you've got there on your face in the promo picture on the Blood Ocean Facebook page. Was that intentional? Is that from Conan, or is that kind of your own interpretation?
That's kind of my own interpretation, and I'm going to go with a leather jacket, a little bit of Escape. I love Escape from New York. It's one of my favorite movies ever. And I am texting you a picture of the band right now. Let's see, to Brian. So that's going to come out today. I didn't quite get it done from the artist today, but you'll see the band has a look, and everybody's a little bit off. And I just, I'm a science fiction nut, and I want to have that kind of look and vibe. I love Escape from New York. The Last of Us, anything like that. And there's some bad 80s movies that I just love that look. I grew up on Mad Max. I'm a huge Mad Max fan.
Mm-hmm.
So but the new video is coming out the same day as the single. You'll see we got a hot rod. It's very Mad Max, the Boom Boom video. And the song is inspired by, we had an Iraq veteran with 2 Purple Hearts, Brad Folks. He only did a few tours. He had to get a real job. But driving for Bobaflex is always good for drivers for a short period of time so they deal with us. And he saw a lot of things, let's put it that way. And he was in between jobs. He said, I'd love to drive for Bobaflex. Oh, would you? And we'll see. So Brad would say that certain gunners brought up on Humvees that they wanted some boom boom con. And I had Marines tell me that that's what Filipino prostitutes would say and other places. And I thought, oh, you mean like sex? And he said, no, they just mean they want to, they want to get into combat. They got the itch and they want to go back.
Right.
And so he had friends that left the military, did their tour, that went back. And I based the song on that and a book called War, where a journalist spent 15 months in the Konagal Valley in Afghanistan. Those guys that held out a fort there made out of Hescos, which is just barrels of sand in it. They fought more than most Vietnam vets, which was rare in Afghanistan. And those guys had their stress level went down in combat. They actually were more stressed out just sitting around waiting, and they were there 15 months. The journalists sat there with them, and they were crazy. And then when they left the military, those same guys said that when they went to Domino's or the radios, wherever they were going to work, that because their life wasn't threatened by every decision they made, they could not feel anything unless they went back to combat. And several guys in the book, the journalists followed, went right back to combat, went right back to Afghanistan because they were addicted to the adrenaline and the fear of their own death. And the book was so crazy. And so I was kind of fascinated with warriors throughout time who literally, and it says in the song, I only feel alive when I'm about to die. That's when I see God's light. And it's about that kind of guy that gets high off of near-death experience and combat. So that's what I like the Boom Boom's about.
Shaun McCoy on the phone with us from Blood Ocean. Tell me about the name of the band. Where did that come from?
Sci-fi story in college I wrote, and in the Bobaflex video, I'm a Nightmare. It was this kind of exposition. If you remember in Star Wars, it was better when Obi-Wan Kenobi talked about the Clone Wars as actually showing them. So I was just bringing up fake gang names in the story in college, and I do it in the I'm a Nightmare video. My Asian gangster from Detroit says it, and he names a couple gangs, and one of them was Blood Ocean Gang. And it was just a cool sounding name. I had gang on there, but I didn't want to be mixed up with the Bloodhound Gang. People kept mixing it up, so I took gang off and, Blood Ocean.
Yeah.
So it's just a weird sci-fi thing I made up for myself.
Now, you mentioned that you guys are working on more songs and rehearsing. When are we going to see you start to hit the road? Are we talking this year or maybe next year?
Probably early next year, February, March. We're going to book a show, and I'm definitely coming to the Midwest first, I think.
Yeah, you're well loved and appreciated here in our area, so it makes sense that you'd come and visit.
I tell people that the Midwest is like the 70s still. They actually like live performing music, and people show up and have a good time and get drunk like it's 1978 forever. And that's why I love the Midwest. Like, that's where people want to go to clubs, to festivals, to concerts. It's never ended there, the whole live music thing, and that's the best place for it. And this band's going to be more theatrical. I just sent Brian a picture of how we look, and then I'm going to bring a light show. This band thing has to have a pretty big light show with movers and all that stuff, and I'm just doing a different thing. Like I said, I'm a Kiss fan. I'm a Slipknot fan. I love theatrics. I love Ozzy Osbourne just passed. I love his stages and, the whole, I just like that whole thing. And to kind of do it the way I want to do it is going to be a treat. And so I'm entering the studio this week, tonight and Saturday with Tommy Johnson. And to give you a glimpse, the song's called Golden Knife. So in Bobaflex, we got weird, right? Well, in this, Golden Knife is about a guy that a deer he killed as a boy visits him in his window floating with his face just like the day he killed it, and it explains to him that it never really died, and if you use a golden knife, the universe is no different than that deer skin you cut open, and you can cut open the universe and see what's inside. It has a skin just like a human being, and that's the song. So we can get weird and crazy and make almost like a horror movie anthology every song's going to be something like that.
Well, I love the artistry. It's so different than Bobaflex. Not that you guys were bad, or it's just a different,
it's just
sort of
different.
take
Just
on
kind of that.
it's got a grindhouse kind of feel to it.
A little industrial.
Yeah, like
a little,
kind of like a
little-
9 Inch Nails. What's the Ministry? Kind of a Ministry feel.
Yeah. My dad, it's partly his fault. Marty and I's dad, he loved and used to piss my mom off back when we were kids in grade school in the 80s, and he loved some B sci-fi. Luckily, Escape from New York is a great movie. It's one of my favorites. But there's others. I watched countless B-movie sci-fi, post-apocalyptic, Battle Beyond Stars, Space Hunter, Ice Pirates. I mean, there's so many my dad would rent and piss the rest of the family off. And he would go ahead and call the budget out and the lower the budget. Sometimes he would rent it and stop watching halfway through. And you'd watch some of these movies and Wasp would show up in the movie. Like, I was like, how is Wasp in this movie?
That's what they spent all their budget on.
Say it again, buddy.
That's what they spent all the budget on, was getting Wasp on the soundtrack.
And some of them are great, man. Just that grindhouse, I love John Carpenter when he hits it out of the park, the director, and he's a great musician, too, and he writes all the music for all his movies. And that whole vibe, man, I'm totally into it. And you can do it musically, too, and bring that energy. And so that's what we're trying to do, man, and come to the Midwest and bring it live, man.
Well, we're looking forward to it, Shaun. It's been a great time to catch up with you. And Blood Ocean is the name of the band. People can find you on Facebook. Do you have a Spotify or any of that stuff as well, like a link tree?
Yeah, we got a Spotify. We're on streaming everywhere. So we just have Headless Woman up. But Friday, the 15th, Boom Boom will be out this Friday.
Okay.
So the video will be on YouTube, and all its Mad Max glory. And, so that'll be out Friday, and it'll be streaming everywhere this Friday.
Awesome, and we look forward to seeing you sometime early 2026 coming through the Midwest, man.
Absolutely. I'd love to see you. I like to. As soon as me and Marty see you, I mean, it's on jokes and just complete and total immaturity from minute one.
Yeah, we don't mess around here.
No, you don't. It's the same sense of humor. We always love hanging out with you guys.
All right, dude. Well, we'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, bro. Later, bud.
Later, bud.